Edgar TV. How do there, guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV. And today I just want to have a little bit of a summary about the World Championships. If you like these sort of things, guys, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to do a summary of the season and some other bits as well in the next couple of days. But this one I just wanted to sit and chat basically about the World Championships and address some of the comments and some of the messages I've been getting. Will like to say, first of all, 100% positive, which is great, and that's what I like. I'd like to live in a bubble of positivity, draw positives from every single situation. And as soon as the World Championship was over, I had a lot of people messaging me like, don't be down on yourself, you did really well. Exactly, I 100% agree. I wasn't down at all. I come off, obviously I'm disappointed not to have won, and I was disappointed to come off after losing to Mensa Suljovic, but certainly there was enough positives to draw on. A couple of really key stats to draw on was I think it was just the best finishing stat since 2016 of any player at the World Championships, which is an amazing thing for me as a darts player and a darts fan to have that little bit of history. I was 9 out of 10 on double 16, which is amazing. If you watch the channel, you'll know I quite often say I'm the best double 8 hitter in the world. I might be the best double 16 hitter in the world, maybe. 90%, 9 out of 10 on double 16. That's incredible. On my doubles itself, I threw 20 darts at doubles and hit 13. 3 of those misses was at the bullseye. So on the outer ring, I only missed 4 darts at a double on the outer ring. And I'm very, very proud of that stat. I'm very, very impressed with that myself. It was 75% and 50% on the doubles, and that includes the missed bullseyes. So really, really happy with that. The whole experience, people mention things like, does no crowd make a difference? Or I see people when they talk about the World Championships and say, oh, there's no crowd, it won't be as bad. Trust me, there's no difference. Just because there's not people watching there, you know there's millions of people watching on the other side of a camera, for starters. You know the prize money jumps around. That Mensa Suljovic game was as good as a Pro Tour win. That one match was like winning an entire Pro Tour. £10,000 worth of prize money on your rankings. So, by no stretch of the imagination is it easier because there's no crowd. If anything, you almost feel a little bit more pressure to perform because you know they're the sort of comments that are going around. So, yeah, in terms of that, yeah, no difference. No difference. It still reacts the same. The games themselves, as you know, finishing was really good. I don't normally watch my games back, but I have watched them back this time, and I was quite happy. I thought I played a lot better against Kuyvenhoven than the average suggested, and when I watched it back, I could see why. So I was sort of running mid-90s for a lot of the game, but then I had 1 or 2 sloppy legs. But in those sloppy legs, I still won them. Now, what would normally happen in that situation is in those sloppy legs, you'd lose them after 15 darts or so, so you wouldn't have time to get all the way down to the finish and then take that out. So it sort of protects that higher average a little bit. So 87 was a bit more of a true average of what I was doing, because obviously I only had 1 leg in that game out of the 10 legs that we played. But against, let's say, Mensa would have gone out early and moved me onto the next leg and would have protected that. So that's why that came down a little bit. Other than that, there were some really good moments. I thought I timed everything really well in both games. It's not so much about the averages, as I keep saying, it's about timing. Especially if you're between an 83 to a 93 average, there's not really any difference in the amount of visits you get to the board and the control that you have on a game, because they're the same amount of visits to the board, 83 and 93. It's the timing that you use, and I timed everything really well. My finisher's really good. I hit big shots when I needed to. I followed in big shots with big shots myself. I was very reactive to things, and I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, in terms of the actual play, I feel like I take a big step forward, and John Part and Wayne Mardle also said the same, that, you know, I've moved forward and I've developed as a player. And anyone who watches the channel will know that I keep saying I'm on a 10-year development plan, and we're still just coming into year 3 now. And if you think, you know, where it's been World Championship for the last couple of years, I'm looking more likely that I'm going to go through things. They also said something that I think was very fair as well. They said I've developed as a player and I'm getting more results that I should get, you know, beating players on the Pro Tour, but I'm still not getting the consistency against the big hitters. Now, I pushed Peter Wright and I mismatched darts to beat Peter Wright. I mismatched darts against Gary Anderson. I then went and beat Gary Anderson. I beat Mensa Suljevic this year. But in general, they're right. When I play that top seed, that's where I normally start to struggle with it. Simba, stop scratching. I'm trying to do a video here, Simbas. Just comes and scratches next to the microphone. So yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's the bit I need to do. I need to find. They said something about Matt looks likely to hold in a 15, where Mensa looks like he can go up to a 12. Again, very fair. It's that little bit extra gear that I need now to be able to move to that next, to take that next jump. And watching it back and summarising what happened at the World Championships, I can see what needs to be done. So it's not something that I'm going to specifically try and focus on that, because then it'll overpower everything else. But I will certainly look at the procedures and see what I can do to see if I can increase that little bit of scoring power, that little bit of push against those top players, those real elite sort of players. That's one thing I take from the World Championships. I always say, you never lose, you learn. I learnt, but also along the way I managed to pick up some massive, massive exposure and experience. I was really, really happy with the World Championship experience. I was happy with how I prepared for it. Normally I'll go down the day before, and then when I get to the venue, I almost feel like a little bit rushed. I come from a normal town like Daventry. It's quite a quiet town. So when I go to London, it's quite manic and it's quite, everything's going on. I'm not very keen on London as a place because it's too full on. Everyone's in a rush all the time. I don't like that. No one's courteous in terms of, like, if you're walking down a road or someone's cutting in front of you and things, I don't like all that. So it gave me a couple of days really to get down there and get settled into the different pace of life, shall we say, which London is. And I got down there on Thursday. I was playing on the Sunday, so I had 3 or 4 days. I had a lot of practice sessions with Danny Baggish, who's still in, playing fantastic darts. So I had a couple of practice sessions with him while I was down there, which was nice. And it just gave me time to be settled in, and it weren't, you're here, now it's time to play. It was, you're here, okay, settle in, get used to it all. Nothing was new on the day. I knew where the breakfast lounge was. I weren't looking for that, Just little things like that make you settle in better, and I'll certainly keep that system in place when I play in future majors. Get down there a little bit earlier, have some time to prepare properly, Prepare like a player, not like a fan, is what I said, I think, on Sky Sports, and that's exactly what I'll do again in future. Really helped me settle in, and it really comes through on the board as well. So instant feedback there to show another part of this 10-year plan where we go, we've learnt there, next bit, we've learnt there, next bit. So we'll keep moving forward with that. I would have liked to have got past Mensa, obviously. It would have given me a game against Gary Anderson. I also think if they're doing contenders again at the Premier League, I think maybe going past Mensa might have gave me a shot, especially with the finishing percentages, because you need hooks, you need things that you can hook into and go, right, this, that, and it could be a question of, right, can he do it on this stage, can he keep that sort of percentage going? So, that's probably the disappointment of that. But as I say, all in all, positive experience. I'm up to 57 in the world at the moment, although we've got Adam Hunt and Jason Lowe sat behind who are still in the event, so they could go past me. But 57 in the world is going up. I'm not one of them players that's going to skyrocket and go from nothing to top 32. I'm going to make steady progress all the way, and that's what we're doing. I've guaranteed myself a 10th UK Open appearance this year at Minehead, where I'll be coming in as a seed again. So I'm defending £1,000 down there. I'll start on £1,000. So that's a free hit at the UK Open. So from now until then, everything has got to be about preparing for the UK Open. But for now, it's now Boxing Day. I'm recording this the 26th of December. I finally got some sleep, some proper sleep last night on Christmas Day. Fell asleep about 10 o'clock, I think it was, and I got up about 8 o'clock in the morning, which shows me now that I'm starting to wind down. It's been 3 or 4 weeks of preparation and pressure and all sorts of things and now it's time to start winding down, having January, start winding back up towards the end of January. I'm still going to practice, but start winding things back up towards the end of January and start getting ready for the UK Open. The UK Open's a free hit for me, so there's a good chance there to gain a couple of ranking places. If you want to follow this journey, guys, I'll be doing more videos like this, sharing thoughts, sharing information. hit the subscribe button, join the Edgar Nation, and I'll catch you soon for some more Edgar TV. Edgar TV.